Hello to everybody. I'm Ignacio Gaffo. I'm the Associate Dean at the Business School for Part-Time Programs. And today I would like to speak to you about the generation challenge that we have in the world, in business, and specifically in education. Well, we are living a very unique moment. We have 4 different generations working and learning together. We have the baby boomers, people born from 1934 till 1964. We have Generation X, 1965 till 1980, Millennials, Generation Y, 1981 till 1994, and Generation Z, 1995 till 2005. Very different profiles, all of them working and learning together. If we now focus into education and what's going on at universities in the business world, what we see is that we are dealing with 3 different profiles. We are dealing with Generation X, Generation Y, Generation Z. And in quite a few occasions, what we are doing at the educational world is we're not adapting the approach. What we are doing is we're following what worked for baby boomers, what worked for Generation X. But guess what? One size does not fit all. It's the perfect recipe for disaster to stick to one of them and try to make it work for everybody. So what's relevant about each generation? We start with leadership styles, what they're gonna look for. Generation X will look for coordination. Millennials are pretty much into guiding, and new generations like Generation Z look to be empowered. And actually, the ideal leader for a Generation X is someone who's a doer. Millennials is a supporter, and Generation Z is gonna look for someone that collaborates with them. This also applies to problem solving. Generation X is gonna be independent, Millennials collaborative, and Generation Z, collaborative but also inclusive. They pay a lot of attention to this. With regards to decision making, Generation X looks to involve the team. Millennials, they want to involve the team and decide with the team. And Generation Z is going to look for a consensus. Very big difference, as you can see. And now we move into education. Generation X perceives education as a search for status. Millennials, they look for a personal experience. And Generation Z, for them, it's a kind of discovery process. How do they learn? Well, Generation X is pretty much about demonstration, discussing. Generation Y, it's about participatory learning. And the new generation is about exploring, but also participating, a combination of both. This requires very different approaches, right? Generation X, they want to be independent, but they want to participate, a combination of both. Millennials is about collaboration. And Generation Z, yes, they want to collaborate. Also, they want to learn on their own. So as you can see, we are looking into different keys when teaching. For Generation X, you have to combine flexibility with focus on what's relevant. Millennials, trial and error, experiential learning. And Generation Z, on top of what Millennials look for, they want to get immediate feedback. They want to be pretty much involved. The feedback, therefore, is also going to be different. For Generation X, it's going to be periodic. Millennials is going to be on demand. And the last one, Generation Z, needs to be constant. We also can move into technology. How do they perceive it? Well, Generation X, for them, it's a kind of tool. For Millennials, it's something they feel comfortable with. And finally, Generation Z, technology is an extension to them. As you can perceive from what I'm sharing with you is we cannot take one approach and try to make it work for everybody. And this is exactly what we are trying to do at IE University. We created Liquid Learning. Liquid Learning, we combine different pedagogies, technologies, processes to make it work to different generations. What we are doing is we blend. We come up with something that's going to lead to something personalized, transformative, collaborative. And guess what? The sort of learning is not only adapted to different profiles you might be dealing with, but in the end of the day, each generation is going to benefit from what works best.